or they try to.
We're back with the next segment of the Pittsburgh Business Virgin here with Stephen Eckert, ProMobile Solutions. So we were just, talking on air about, what makes companies successful, where they kind of fell.
I think we were talking off air about that.
One time. But thanks, Brad. I appreciate that. I would.
Oh, good.
Point for Brad. 107-1. That's the score right now, folks. For those keeping
feel like the Dallas Mavericks right now.
For those keeping score at home. But anyway, off air we were talking about what makes some companies not be successful. And you typically work with people that have no vice president of marketing.
Right.
The owner wears many different hats, may have employees. Walk us through that process when you work with somebody about identifying those gaps, analysis, and
if I was to fire my VP of marketing, could I hire you?
I do have a couple of places where I play the role of the vice president of marketing, kind of a virtual. But
you realize that means I have to fire my wife.
The only reason he says that is because she's not here today.
Yeah.
But anyway, Steve.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I digress.
Yeah. Typically, I do work with companies that owner involved, probably have salespeople, but don't have a marketing executive helping with marketing strategy. They would be doing what I do. But when I work with a company, there's several things that I try to do. One is a gap and dam analysis to figure out in the process. Every company has a process, whether they know it or not. But to map that is very helpful, and it always shows places where there's a bottleneck or a dam, and some places where there are gaps where things aren't happening. They're falling through the cracks. And we were talking about off air in between segments that I find typically that's the owner is the issue. They either have for some reason they like or dislike things, or they can't let go of the sales process because when they started out, they were the process. And
should I just leave right now? Should I just go?
Did you ever have someone playing too much Minesweeper? That's a dig one.
That's not me. I don't even know.
You guys said you wanted honesty. I didn't know we were going to go into therapy.
Does backgammon come into it?
So,
but anyway,
that's one of the things. If you can map your process, you're halfway home. And then the other big piece that I try to do with the companies I work with is that I always say marketing and everything in marketing is a test. So we're always going to A/B test, or we're going to try something for a particular purpose, figure out what variables are working, and then that gives us the opportunity when something new comes along, like mobile marketing, where we have something to plug into. We're not just throwing money at tactics. We're saying, well, this would fit in this way within our process, and it'll make it better.
I always like the question of, are you open-minded? And the answer to that question is always yes. Because no one's no, I'm a closed-minded guy, But the reality is that most owners they think they're open-minded, not very open-minded at all. So my question for you is, how do you get people to be open-minded to your ideas?
Well, the mapping the process is always, 95% of the time is eye-opening.
But just getting
breakthrough.
But I'm saying just giving you the keys to even open the door to map it is got to be some level of breakthrough.
Well, no one comes to me and says, Steve, I think our process is broken. Will you help me fix it? People come to me and say, we need a brochure, or we need a mobile marketing plan.
Yeah.
My next questions then open up that conversation about how's that going to fit in? Why do you need a brochure?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? So I guess I sneak my way into the room
seek to understand on those ones
on that question. But it can be difficult because but if you can go through that process, it can be very helpful because most owners have grown organically, which means their process has just been kind of seat of the pants. What's worked?
Yeah.
They got lucky. Things have happened.
They are where they are, and it's kind of just happened.
And you made the point as well that there are some people that might have tried something 15 years ago that that doesn't work.
Direct mail doesn't work in our marketplace because they had they did 500 mailers in 1997 and didn't get any return.
Man, I thought 97 was a good year for market director.
For direct
now
mail, yeah.
so much they're going to get inundated, but it's a little different. So, but good stuff, Steve. We appreciate that insight. We'll be back with our next segment. Check out ProMobileSolutions.com to see Steve. If you want to learn more about how you can figure out what bottlenecks are in your process, certainly give Steve a call. Reach out. He's always willing to help.